Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, people within shot of the sound of my voice. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. We're walking you to another Friday Eve show. And when it comes to Friday Eve, there's a couple things that has to happen. And now what's going to happen is we're going to fast forward to tomorrow. So 2 weeks ago, you had the Omni Station. Last week, somebody got the hot Krispy Kreme donuts. This week, somebody went to Anita's in Falls Church. They got the little breakfast burritos. Oh, if you haven't had them, you'll love them. But meanwhile, while some guy is stuffing his face, he keeps muffling. And they're like, what are you talking about? Because he watched the show the night before. It was one of the best shows he'd ever seen cover sports as a podcast. He was like, and they kept asking, what is it? And so finally he cleared his mouth up. He said, it's the Thursday night Throwdown. Yeah, baby. And that's what we do here. Welcome, everybody. It's a little bit different here. Tonight is KG. It's myself, the Midnight Rider, and we got the correspondent. And when you see the correspondent, you see what it means right there. We got PGA stuff to talk about. A little bit later, mid-show, we're going to be joined by Coach Devon Powell. He had a nice day yesterday where he was at the event in Ashburn with the coaches. Also, we're going to try to pick his brain real quick about a little basketball if he has time. Then we're going to get into the basketball, the hockey. If you want it, we got it. We're going sport to sport, post to post, coast to coast, all gas, no breaks, sideline junkies. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to the big guy, KG.
Well, damn. I like
right
to hear that. Yeah. Just throwing it right there. Whew. Sam already checking in. Sam checking in wholeheartedly. Good to see you, Sam. Thank you. Salute to you. He's a Keith, KG, and Midnight Rider. Yes, sir. Jack's on special assignment. What's crazy is this the first time Jack's ever been on special assignment since he's been with us. Damn.
Yeah, this is it.
This is his first time on special assignment.
No. Second. He had the trip to South Carolina when he burnt his feet up.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jack.
Yeah.
He ain't here. We can talk about him a whole lot. As far as I'm concerned.
I talk about him to him.
Well, I do that
know
too,
how we work.
But no, yeah, he deserves a day off, and happy birthday to his daughter. So
yes,
happy birthday, Cam. Some quality time with the fam. So goodbye, the gentleman Jack for sure.
Man, like
hey, Keith.
Everybody got these cool backgrounds. Hold on, wait. Let me throw this up there before I get into this. Look at that. The correspondent got the cool background. The Midnight Rider got the cool background. I just got the OG background, but it is cool. I like my OG stuff.
Yeah, it still looks good. It's classic.
First and foremost, before we get too deep into this, how you gentlemen feeling?
I mean, if you can't say about an intro, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I played a little golf today, watched a little golf today, so that's, what warms my heart, to be honest. So, anything else in the sports world going on, I'm attentive to. So I'm feeling great. It's a Friday Eve, like Midnight Rider said. So let's get this thing cracking. Let's get rolling.
Oh, no. Now you can say Thursday. You just can't say it before you hear the Thursday night.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Thursday's back on the table now. Yeah.
Understood. Yep. Won't make that mistake again.
Got to stay on your brand, baby. Stay on your brand.
Jack said he was out for knee-jerk surgeries too. And he said, nah, Keith. But we got to throw this out there. The U.S. Open, day one started today. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It's still going on right now at Oakmont Country Club. JJ Spawn is leading at 4 under through 18.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn it over to you, Keith, please.
Look,
I got golf questions for you after this, so I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Let's do this. First of all, guys, it's the national championship of North American golf, of U.S. golf. So that's what we're here. When we talk about Final Four for NCAA or a Super Bowl, like this is the Super Bowl of golf if you're an American. Okay, so let's kind of set the table there. This is the toughest test of golf, okay, that there is. This is the hardest golf course in the world for good golfers. Oakmont Country Club. We're sitting right outside of Pittsburgh, PA. The fairways are fast, the greens are fast, and the rough is 5 inches thick as thieves. Okay, so this is an ultimate test of golf. The last time a major championship was played on this golf course, the final score was 4 under. I don't think that'll happen this go around. You know, the USGA and the members of Oakmont Country Club specifically are kind of pushing back on some of the elitists in the golf world that want to hit the golf ball 10 miles long and want to have no consequences for wayward shots, if you will. So it's super exciting. This leaderboard that we're looking at right now, it's gonna change pretty dramatically as we go. You know, you referenced JJ Spahn's got the lead at 4 under. He's one guy that is so deliberate and so mechanical in the way he plays golf. I could see him actually, you know, staying up there for a while. I mean, raise your hand if you know who Thurston Lawrence is. I mean, it sounds like a black dude to me, but he's not.
I thought he was on Gilligan's Island.
He's a white dude from South Africa. I didn't know who he was until today. Brooks Koepka is up there, so that's a branded name. But you know, some of our usual suspects, the guys that we're used to talking about on this show, guys. You know, Scotty's 3 over, Bryson's 3 over, Rory was 2 under at one point in time. Now he's 4 over. So this golf course is going to test. It's going to test your patience. It's going to test you're going to hit a bad shot, or you're actually going to hit a good shot that you're not rewarded for, and you're going to have to be able to put that behind you and move forward. So we'll see. One of the dynamics that a lot of people don't talk about is the caddy to golfer relationship in major championships like this, where it's firm and the conditions are so difficult. Being committed to your golf shots, guys, is super paramount. So if you don't trust what your caddy's saying, or you don't love the yardage, or if you don't agree how that ball is going to come out of the rough, it's going to be hot, or it's going to die, or it's not going to have spin or not spin. If you're not committed and you're not sharing a brain on that, you're not committed to that golf shot, you're going to pay dearly. So, the major championship's off to a great start. I think it's going to change. I think we'll see, things change with this leaderboard as we move forward, and we'll see. But some guys lost this tournament today. Jason Day, 6 over. Justin Thomas, 6 over. Cantlay, 6 over. Cam Smith, who is just, I don't know what's happened to this gentleman. He's 5 over. They're probably not in the mix anymore. They probably lost the golf tournament today. So with that, guys, I got your questions. Hit me up. Tell me what you're thinking. Weather could play a part in this. It may rain a little bit Saturday into Sunday some. So depending on your draw, what your tee time is, could be beneficial to some guys. But it's not going to, like tomorrow afternoon, this place is going to be hot, firm, and fast. And there are going to be some big numbers. Guys are already shooting in the 80s, 82, 83, 84 already as we're sitting here right now. So
because this place is hot and firm, do you think this is a time where somebody is going to have to maybe pocket the driver and go a little light in the clubs, because you're going to get the run naturally? So it may not run up 400, but you run out to good 250, but be in a spot that you can control it better because of your irons.
So yeah, I mean that's a pitcher's mound poison kind of situation, because if you play back, that's fine, hit it in the fairway. The problem is you're hitting more club into a green that's elevated and firm, and you can't spin. So if you're hitting it in there low, right, then you can't control the spin and the distance and get it close to the pin. So yeah, everyone's trying to play to their strength. The guys that bomb it, we're going to bomb it, and we're going to live with those consequences, being closer to the green and in the rough, and hopefully we get a good lie and we can chunk it up there and get it up there closer to the pin to to have a chance at making par. But if you hit your drive wayward, if you do not hit the fairway, you're trying to make par. That's
right.
And actually, you're fortunate to make par. So maybe in our follow-up segment, Make Tuesday, we'll talk about the church pews, the legendary church pews of Oakmont. But the guys this week, they're not trying to go to church and deal with those things, So, what questions do you have, guys? What do you got for me?
I got. My question is, number one, I haven't heard anybody talk about grass being fast in years. That right there, like when you said it, it warmed my heart because I that was always a thing. But I'm looking at just I guess you can still call it the leaderboard. But where would the cut down day would be? What, tomorrow after tomorrow's shooting?
Yeah, so the cut down will be tomorrow. Yeah, it should be the top 48 in ties.
Okay, and looking at it right now, top 48 is from what did they say? Top 49 is 3 over.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at this as a whole. I'm seeing 12 over, 16 over. The 156 guy is 16 over through 17.
Yeah.
This isn't a forgiving course.
How is that possible to shoot 16 over?
It's a Joe Witt special. It's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go. You take your club out the bag, anything can happen when you play the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, it's crazy.
Now,
but this is what they want.
I mean, as somebody that has won a U.S. Open, PGA Tour 24, won a U.S. Open, thank you very much. And won it with 9 under. Thank you very much. Played that course very well. It makes me scared the way you talk about the course. It's like, it's just the lure of it is intimidating to me.
No, it's the hardest course in the world, especially right as we sit here. Right, it's a great test of golf. As an aggregate, the golfers now are better than they've ever been. Like 1 through 50 is. We've had the Jack Nicklaus and the Arnold Palmer and the Lee Trevinos, and it was like a small. It was 6 or 7 of them that were really good. Now, we do have Scotty and Rory, but that next bucket is huge of golfers that are competent and professional and can go low at any specific moment. So right now, this tournament is anyone's. I love my local guy, Denny McCarthy. I mean, he continues. He shot even par today.
That's the name I just saw. I was waiting for you to go ahead and drop that.
Yeah. I mean, it just warms my heart to see him playing well. So I'll be rooting for him. Hopefully, he can keep it going. He keeps cashing checks and he keeps qualifying for future majors. In this game, as a professional golfer, that's really the hardest thing to do, and for him to be doing that is really, really, really cool. Justin Spieth's up there, also even par. So yeah, I mean, the big guy. This is a great test of golf. It's the hardest test of golf. There's a lot of pros out there complaining about the golf course, that it's too difficult, that it's not fair, but guys are still shooting 4 under. So, they're not trying to identify. They're trying to identify who the best golfer is, not who is most concerned about the conditions. So hats off to Oakmont Country Club and the USGA. They've put a great package together. They've been preparing for this golf tournament for 3 or 4 years. This golf course was just kind of redesigned 2 years ago. They made the fairways bigger. They made the greens larger, but they also made more undulation and slope to the course that made it more challenging to hit it close to the pin. And that's really what these guys are accustomed to. They're accustomed to big fairways, soft conditions, hitting the ball 1,000,000 miles in the air, hitting it real close to the pin, making birdies. Well, guess what? That ain't happening this week. First thing this morning, 6:30, I turned on the TV, guys. Guys had their backs to the pin, to the hole, putting, because the slope was so prominent So it brings out imagination, creativity, skills, right, and attrition to be honest. This is a mental, mind game that you're playing with yourself and the golf course. So.
Now, I got a personal question for you. And
yeah.
I've been saying that, I want to take up golf because, number one, I have to admit I'm getting older. I can't play basketball as much as I want. So I want to take up the gentleman's game in golf.
Yeah.
And one of my goals the last few years is to actually play 18 at Langston. Now, I'm just starting out. I've always been told not to go out and buy clubs, go to yard sales and pick up clubs. And if I, put together a bag through yard sales and things like that, correct?
So, yeah, I mean, until you know you love the game, you want to get fitted for clubs and be able to play the game the right way. But yeah, I would find any way you can get clubs in a bag together. I'd borrow someone's clubs if you had to, just to make sure it's commitment. Golf clubs are, for a decent set, irons, woods in a bag, it's $2,000 these days. It's expensive for good equipment, So,
KG,
but,
you got a game that doesn't need good equipment. You can go get you the the Walter Hagen special for like $2.99 and just get started.
Can I tell you a quick Langston story though? Because I played Langston lots of times.
Of course.
So when I was a young teenager, I was probably 13 or 14. There was a junior tournament at Langston, and I wasn't driving. I lived right behind Capitol Plaza, PG County there, Bladensburg, basically, right? And my mom drove me down there, and I had brand new clubs, irons. I mean, my bag was old, my woods were old. Like, I went in and registered for the tournament. When I came out, all my clubs were stolen. They were gone. They were gone. So I had to call my mom. She had to come pick me up, and we just carried ourselves back home. Lived to play another day. But I got at Langston. But I played there many times after that in my late teens and early 20s. Part of like a lot of, maybe we'll talk about this in one of the pasture seat episodes, a lot of gambling, happened with some of the local.
There's a lot of hustlers. Langston and what's the one? East Potomac. It's a lot of hustlers.
Langston, East Potomac, but Lake Arbor back in the day, Woodmore Country Club, which was PG Country Club back in the day, even Glendale, some of the Northern Virginia courses. I was a part of that circuit in the late 90s and late 80s, early 90s. So we'll talk about that a different day. But yeah, Langston clubs were gone. That's a great golf course, by the way. Love it.
Yep. I played it twice. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad course.
I think we should do a Sideline Junkies charity rendezvous there. That'd be a goal. That'd be a goal for ours for 26 or 27. How about that?
I would like that.
Got to make it a scramble because you sound
like
it'll
be a scramble. Yeah, be a scramble. It'll be a scramble, but maybe we could pay some bills and donate some money to a good cause at the same time. Just future goals. What do you think?
Yeah, figure it out. I'm with it.
Okay, there you go.
So, KG, if you don't mind, skip down to A Manzana. His second question. As an amateur, what is the hardest golf course to get a very low handicap? Is it going to be the golf courses up north, the ones down here in Florida like Sawgrass, Pebble Beach, or the probably going to say in the Mid-Atlantic?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, golf courses, there's different tee sets, right? You should be playing, right. There's the championship distance, there's the senior tees, there's the white tees as they're known, right? You just got to find where you fit in best. There's certain people that play better on Bermuda grass or Georgia grass or a hybrid grass. Like I don't know really. The best thing is to practice playing golf, but be diligent in your practice. Just don't go out there and just hack it around. Like if you're gonna, the driving range can be a good tool to try to get better at golf, but I don't think there's one specific course or region where you're gonna, improve your game. I would advise you to one, keep your swing. Your swing's your swing. Trying to make drastic changes to your swing, it's not going to happen. And then just sort of have one voice when it comes to golf. Listening to 12 different people tell you what to do, or one podcast and one YouTube show and one, one backseat driver, that's in the cart with you. You really got to stick to your guns, and golf is really 50% mental, to be honest, so wouldn't overthink it. Trust what you have. Usually your first instinct is the right one, guys, and go with it from there. But other than that, if you really want a real lesson, reach out to your local PGA professional. They can assist you in getting the training and the.
I say if you get a coach or you get somebody to work with the same person. Don't get multiple, because you'll have so many different styles of swings in your head and trying to do this and keep this tucked and like I had this one pro. I have a very short backswing.
Tony Finau, yeah,
it's a whip. But I'm not getting to the top. I'm not doing the extension up here. Nah, we're not getting that far up. These broad shoulders ain't making that happen. So that's the one thing I learned early was don't go to multiple people. And then
another thing is do a little research, because now there's like short game specialists. Now the game's gotten it's just like position coaches in football, right? KG, there's a secondary coach and there's a secondary assistant coach. There's a safeties coach. Like there's a short game coach. There's a putting coach. There's a long game coach. There's an iron coach. Like it's the game is broken down. It's compartmentalized significantly more than it was when I was learning the game in the early 80s, late 80s. Yeah, for sure.
I never knew that. I never knew
Facts.
that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Wow.
Yeah. These
okay.
Look, just imagine all those guys you saw today. They have a swing coach, they have a short game coach, and they have a putting coach. All those big time golfers have 3 coaches minimum.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, there's a couple of nice places around here. Before you go, KG, there's a couple of places around here. Even if you don't do, like if you want to just kind of swing it a little bit to see what fits you, because you're going to be a taller guy. So you probably want to watch what you get club wise. So there's a couple places like in Columbia. There's a place, of course, in Virginia. There's like Golfdom kind of places that kind of help shape your swing. I know the Dick's Sporting Goods on Bailey's Crossroads, they used to have a pro in there. So they would like grip your clubs and kind of help you like through your early journey. Because when you first start, you don't want to pay, in my opinion, I don't think you want to do the $800 clubs, because you just don't want to make that investment and then be turned off by the game and be out of that money.
Midnight Rider, you're right. I mean, because he's just, he's not just 6'1" like me. Like he's not, you know what I'm saying? Like his size isn't for everybody. So he may need to go to second swing, like in Columbia, where they have an incredible used selection.
That's what I was talking about. That's exactly the place I was talking about.
And different price points, and they can watch you hit a couple. Even if you don't hit them well, they still know what your arc is, what your striking impact, your smash, what they call smash factor, right? What that looks like at impact, and the trajectory of the club and the angle of the club, and what you may need an extra half inch or an extra 1 inch shaft, and I'm sure they have something that could assist you with that. So. Yeah, let me know when you go. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Be awesome.
We gotta be that might be a field trip.
Hey,
might be a remote hit or something. Yeah.
Couple of comments real quick. Matty Ice said everyone likes grass that is fast. And seriously, I love when they make the U.S. Open hard. The gentleman Jack Carr checking in, he said KG don't have to tape up for golf. No, I don't. I don't have to get my ankles taped. Play it against sports for clubs. He said, yes, Keith bingo golf outing. And Maddie said, maybe we should start with a Sideline Junkies putt tournament. Now, one thing I got. This is one thing.
Here we go. Here we go.
This is from years of working for ESPN, but one thing I can do is I can putt. I can tell you where the break is. I can look at it visually and tell you where it is. And I can kind of sort of putt. And I'm not talking video game. I'm talking about actually on the green. I can do that.
Okay.
It's the long game that gets me, man.
Famous last words.
Hey, it happens. Maddie said, please tell Anthony sorry I didn't get to all his points on Monday, but when back in 2 weeks, we'll get in the NHL free agency and the draft pick and we'll pick it back up. Yeah, matter of fact, Maddie, I'm glad you said that because I wanted to ask you some things about free agency. Sam said, I think KG should invest in the 2K plus set. Want to be the best, got to swing with the best. You trying to get me put out my goddamn house. My wife ain't going for that. If she lets me spend 2K on a golf set of all the clubs, if she lets me spend 2K on that, I can spend 2K on a car. And she's not letting me spend 2K on either.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
See?
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah, I got to get back in because I lost my set that I had. It was in a storage unit, and I lost the unit. So I got to figure that. I got to start back all over again. Plus, I haven't played in a while, so it wouldn't even be too bad to just get started with a basic set and work my way back up.
Anthony said, I have friends who golf, and they say that taller golfers have more inconsistency in their swings no matter how much they practice because they have more moving pieces. Do you guys agree?
That's a
yes. I mean, to somewhat. I mean, again, just hand-eye coordination. So if you have elite hand-eye coordination and you're 6'4" versus the guy that's 6'2" or 5'11", you can make up for that. Obviously, the longer your swing, guys, the more can go wrong, right? It's more time. It's more. It's more time for things to go wrong. But I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't want to allude as a question too much, but the answer is yes and no. It's golfer specific, if you will. Elite hand. Some of the better golfers in the world. Just take Oberg. He's 6'5". He looks like he was built out of a machine to play golf. You know what I mean? And he's one of the best guys in the world. So, yes and no. If you can make up for it with elite hand-eye coordination, for sure.
I've seen a lot of taller guys because of that swing, because you can get that full length on the swing and a full arc. They just have a sweet swing, kind of like a Ken Griffey style type of thing.
It's beautiful, like Ernie Els. If you remember Ernie Els back in the day, he just had this, or Fred Couples is a taller guy, just elegant,
elegant, effortless
golf swing. And look, the taller guys, some of the taller guys, they don't have to take it back as far to create as much power because they're creating more torque, because they're further away from the golf ball and they have more time to react. So again, it's golfer specific, but it's a good, for an amateur just showing up, hitting your first golf ball. Of course, a tall, lanky guy, 6'6", going to have a hard time. 100%.
Yep.
Sam say, KG don't seem like the kind of guy that'll start something and just quit. Be a legend, man. Now, I'm not going to quit it. And I'm going to stick with it. That's most definitely.
Tell you right now, golf will make you want to quit it, and then it'll make you want to stay.
Yep. You just hit
JC loves field trips.
Say that again.
JC loves field trips. That's what the gentleman Jack Carr said.
Oh, of course he does.
The boss BJ checking in said nobody's beating me in putt-putt. Okay. All right.
I'm taking that challenge.
Hey, look. That's gonna be the next outing. We're gonna be out Virginia at the putt-putt course, man. Don't start now.
All right. Do I need to sign something?
Anthony said, what are you guys' opinions on PJ Golf Course, the Bears Club in Palm Beach and how it plays, and the PJ Golf Course on the Disney property in Orlando and how it plays?
I know I haven't been there.
I haven't played any of those golf courses, so I wouldn't render opinion. But I know if Disney's involved, it's a nice place to play. I'm sure it's a really great golf course, but I've never played any of those courses. I don't think I've ever played golf in. I've played a lot of golf in Tampa and Miami and some other places, South Carolina, Georgia, but never Orlando specific. So I can't help you there, Anthony. Sorry.
And Maddie said, I'm short and my swing still sucks.
See?
Come on, Maddie, don't be like that. And Anthony said, was John Daly a taller golfer?
John Daly's like 6 foot tall or 5'11", I think. John Daly was more known. He won 2 major championships, with more known for his larger than life personality and persona. You had the blonde mullet and stuff, hanging down. He had the huge backswing. Didn't matter how tall he was. I mean, he took the golf club back past parallel. On the backswing, you could see it. With his left eye over there. So you talking about hand-eye coordination? He has, elite. I mean, he's a great ambassador for the game of golf, even to this day. Him and his Hooter sponsorship that he's got going. Good for him.
Good stuff.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So look, that's a wrap. I think we're going to see a lot of augmentation of this leaderboard, guys, here these next 2 days. I think. What are you guys thinking? You want to talk Sunday morning? Or you want to do Tuesday and just do a whole comprehensive sort of outline?
You laid it out. You said let's do Tuesday. That way we can get the full spectrum.
Let's do that.
Let's do this though. Say Sunday morning, you shoot Jack a couple golfers that you think may make a move.
Yep.
And we can call it that. I mean, we can call it on the move or whatever, and we can just present what you got and go with it.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, well, just like a couple quick hitters, maybe. Even if I hop on, I'm cool with that too. It doesn't matter to me. But I think this is going to change so much, guys. I mean, you guys aren't nerds for this like I am, but you could probably see the excitement in my face. Like I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning and see these guys tee off at 6:30 and give you guys an update here as we go. This is the 3rd major out of 4, so I might run out of FaceTime with you guys here.
You already in the fold, so if you want to do a recap real quick after each round and just throw it on the Sideline Junkies page, we can do it that way.
Okay. All right. I'll reach out to Jackie in the morning. I know he's busy this evening, but we'll take things from there. How about that?
Yeah, of course.
Real quick, guys, I just want to say, if I could say one thing, I just wanted to say that I really respect the hell out of you guys and appreciate your diligence with your efforts here and what you're doing. You guys are super consistent. The content is excellent. That's why I love being a part of it. So I encourage you, implore you to keep up the good work. All right.
We ain't going nowhere. Definitely.
I'm gonna let you guys go to correspondence out, and I'll check with you guys. I'll check in with you guys on Tuesday. Okay.
All right. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you. Bye.
That right there was the correspondent. Everything you need to know golf. Let's get to a couple of comments real quick. Anthony says, I'm a big fan of Brooks Koepka. What are your opinions on how he's getting performed this weekend? Do you think he's one of the leaders in terms of winning the U.S. Open? What is he shooting 2 under?
I'm
not a pro, but
his game, as long as he can keep his game together, I think the biggest thing that Keith said was this course is going to test you mentally. And I think this is going to be a course that's not for the faint of heart. So if he can keep his head together and his mental together, he should be good. The person I think that might fall off is Spieth, because Spieth has struggled mentally ever since he got on the scene big. He had that stretch, and then Spieth ain't been Spiething since. So I'd be careful and worry about him, somebody like him falling off. I think Koepka's going to be around and in the mix, but I'd be curious to see where he's at on the final day.
All right. Anthony also said it's crazy. I've been watching a lot of Charlie Woods. He's a carbon copy of his father in terms of swing patterns. I'm going to say this. If he can swing and have the distance that his dad had, oh my God.
He
just keeps the body style and does not go all army and get cock diesel.
Nah, you're right. Let's pull in coach.
All right. Well, let's do it the right way. We'll get to these comments. Stay tuned. because when we come back, we got Coach Devon rolling with us. So hold tight. Oh, okay. I think I did that. Well, I think I did that. For me. We got Coach Devon with us. What's happening, Coach?
What's going on, fellas? I'm sorry, man. We out here. We got a 7-on-7 tournament at our school tonight, and we out here getting it in. So I apologize for being late.
Nah, man, you do your thing, man. We just wanted to hop in, get a couple of your thoughts on a couple things real quick. I saw you yesterday out in Ashburn with the coaches thing, and I love watching coaches trying to get better. Kind of talk about, if you can, real quick, just the experience and kind of what you went through.
Oh man, it was a great day, man. The Commanders, I gotta remember to call them Commanders and not Redskins. The Commanders, man, they invited about 100 coaches out, high school coaches, and a couple of flag coaches from the DMV. They invited us out, man, to experience mini camp, which I thought was pretty cool, man. You know, they fed us some good food, and then gave us field access to the practice, man. And it was a unique experience because we got to see, you know, how organized and detailed, you know, a professional team runs practice. And, you know, we don't get that level of detail on the high school level. So it was great to see. It was great to see the amount of time that they don't waste. Everything's efficient. And, you know, Dan has put together a hell of a staff, man. And,
yes, sir.
You know, sitting there watching Anthony Lynn with the running backs, man. And I'm just soaking in everything, man, because it was just a lot of knowledge out there. So it was a good event, man. A lot of the coaches were pleased, happy for that opportunity, and looking forward to them doing it again next year.
Second question is, what was like a takeaway? I know you said the time thing, but was it something else that you took away from this?
Man, I took away, you know, like I said, it being detailed, man. Like everything they do is scripted in practice. And, you know, on the high school level, we try to get some sort of that, but these are high school kids. Watching the professionals, you know, they have their meetings before the game, before practice. And so when they hit the field, they know exactly what's going on for each period, how long they are. And then to see, I wish the kids could see it because there's no walking around on the field, man. Like they switching in between drills into different stations. These are professionals. These are dudes that have already made it, and they sprinting, they hustling. And the coaches are energized, man. It's just a great feeling, man. You know, I've been a Commanders/Redskins fan my whole life, and the energy out there that Dan is bringing and that coaching staff is amazing.
Well, I'm going to ask a question, Coach. And this is, you say the energy. And we always talk about it here in the energy. And I said this when Dan Quinn got hired, Joe Witt. You want to tape up, you want to get out there, you want to run through a brick wall for them because that energy that high, don't you?
Man, look, these old 46-year-old knees was ready to get out there, man, and run a couple of sprints, man, and run a couple back pedals, man. I thought I had a couple of them left in me.
I'm not. Me and you the same, Coach. Me and you the same.
Man. We had a camp. We had a camp here 2 weeks ago. Mikey Samuels and Ben St. Juice had a camp at our school. And Debo Samuels pulled up, man. And, you know, talk about a down-to-earth dude, man. I'm sitting there talking to him, man. And, you know, I asked him, I said, man, what is it like playing for Dan? And he said, oh, man, it's great playing for Dan. Everybody loves him. He's a player's coach, man. It's just great to see, man. They love working for Dan, man.
All right, Coach, we got a couple questions for you. First and foremost, can you tell us about what you got going on June 23rd?
Oh man, June 23rd, man. It's you know, I appreciate the opportunity that you guys in the platform are giving me, man, because we're coming with a different view, man, a different angle. You know, we got Matty Ice with the drive time. You know, we got Midnight Riding Jack with the in the passenger seat, but we got and we're coming with a different angle that's not really covered in our area. We're bringing an experience where we're going to focus on high school sports and not just football and basketball. I'm going to cover all sports, man. I'm going to give love to all sports, especially here in my home, PG County. We're going to bring some coaches on to speak about their programs, man. We're going to highlight some student athletes. We're going to give coverage each week, especially when football season starts and basketball season. We're going to give it coverage each week of games and highlights, and we're going to bring some star players in. So we're just going to bring just some viewership, man, and some information that hasn't been out there before, especially for PG County football and basketball. Our sports, sometimes the public schools get forgotten about because of the private schools in this area. So we're just gonna bring a new avenue for, man, these student athletes to be highlighted, these coaches to be highlighted, and these programs to be highlighted. So, we got the Pretenders or Contenders Coaches Podcast coming up, and the name came from, that's what I tell my players. Are y'all gonna be pretenders or contenders? If you're gonna be pretenders, take your asses on somewhere else. But we here trying to be contenders. So what are you gonna be today? Oh, good pass. Sorry, my team is playing right now. We're playing against Oxon Hill High School.
No, go ahead.
So I'm good. I got my other coaching.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
All right, we'll probably get coach back in a second. But pretenders, contenders, the coaches, that's a tough name, man. That's a tough name. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But yeah, man, that's it, man. You're a pretender, you're a contender. You out here bullshit, or you ready to get to the money? That's what we trying to do.
No, that sounds good, man. If you don't mind switching gears for me real quick before we get into the basketball talk, I want to get your opinion because I don't want to take too much of your time up. Indiana, Oklahoma, OKC, Indiana steals game 3. What's your thoughts and what's your projection?
Man, I told you Midnight Rider the other day, man. I didn't think it was a chance in hell that Indiana would have won that first game. And then for them to come back and steal game 3. Well, they ain't steal game 3. They went and took game 3. I'm impressed, man. I'm more of a college basketball fan, but I love NBA during the playoffs. And Indiana's just out there. They proving everybody wrong. Everything was against them. Everybody was on that OKC wagon, and they like, hold up, we hit. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't rolling over like the Knicks did.
Nah, I totally think this is a situation where they got the better coach.
True
And they've been here. They've been in these tough situations where you got to grind out a ball game. OKC hasn't, and I think that's what's happening to them right now.
Right.
When it gets tight and it gets late, they struggle.
Yeah,
they gave away game 3 last night.
Yeah, they did. And like I said, I was on the bandwagon of OKC taking this, but they didn't prove me wrong. Because Indiana's out there balling.
And real quick before you hop out, tell us what you got going on right now. Where you at?
Oh man, we up here at Law High School, man. We got the Prince George's County Football Coaches Association, man, which I'm a member of. This is our passing tournament that we run every year. We had 2 locations tonight. We're here at Lowell and then also at Flowers High School. And then pool players tonight. Then Saturday up at Charles Flowers High School is bracket play. So that's the tournament starting at 12 o'clock. Well, we got the JV kids at 8 o'clock. The varsity's championship bracket starts at 12. And then we also got a big man's camp for all our O linemen and D linemen that don't do 7-on-7. They got a camp up there at 10 o'clock from 10 to 12. So, the Coaches Association is growing, man, and we're putting together some great events for these young men, man, just trying to showcase the talent that we got in PG County.
Okay.
And we up here now. My squad is up. We 2-0 so far, but we're struggling right now. We're playing against Oxon Hill, so it's not looking too good. But we still got one more tonight, so we all right.
Go ahead, KG. You on mute. You still on mute.
Only thing I got is hey coach, you got me ready, man. I'm ready to tape him up, man, and just let me come out there. Just look, 10 snaps. I can pin my ears back. I still got high school eligibility. Let's go.
Look, come on up here, man. I only got 5, so if you got 10, that's good for you. I only got 5, and 3 of those 5, I might not get off the line of scrimmage. So come on up here. Yeah. Hey, that's what I say during basketball season, man. Let me sit in the corner and just shoot 3-pointers. Y'all run up down the court. I'm gonna take the 3.
I tell them I'm European when it comes to basketball now. I can shoot the 3. I ain't playing no defense.
Oh, right. Nah, I'm totally different. I'm gonna bring the ball up and I'm just gonna distribute. That's why I got 2 boys for get open. That's all you got to do. I'll find you. Just get open.
Right.
We're on the 40.
Again, Coach, real quick, remind us about your show on the 23rd, and we'll let you go.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Again, Monday on 23rd, man. We got the Pretenders or Contenders Coaches Podcast with myself and a couple of special guests. And we just gonna bring that high school experience to everybody, man. Just bring the spotlight on PG County and the state of Maryland. So that's what we're doing, giving the high school sports some love for once. I'm trying to be like you guys, man. Trying to be on y'all level. So I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you jumping in with us, man. Good luck. We catch you later on, man.
All right, appreciate it, man. Sorry I was late.
Nah, you good, brother.
All right,
Your
KG,
time is on time.
Come on, KG, man. I see you on Saturday, man. Give me them 10 plays.
Hey, you ain't said nothing but a word. You ain't said nothing but a word.
All right, man. Take it easy, Coach.
All right, fellas. I appreciate y'all.
Not a problem.
Appreciate you, man.
Man, that was Coach Devon. Man, look, Midnight Rider. I'm about to call the supervisor, my boss, Tommy Strong, who runs my branch of Helen Hunt Motors. I can't come in tomorrow. I'm spending all day stretching. I got to loosen up. He said he needed 10 snaps. That's all I needed to hear. 10 snaps on Saturday. That's it.
Okay.
You're not rising my bullshit. Oh, Dario, how many snaps you got in you, Dario? You got at least 25. Dario got the whole game in him, so let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Well, depending on what time that game is, I'm gonna have some Smirnoff in me. So I don't know how many reps I got of Smirnoff. But
well, let's try this again. We're gonna reset. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get to some comments, and then we're gonna do a live update real quick because we got a game going on. So let's reset real quick. We'll be right back. Something a little different.
Yeah, that joint's tough.
Shout out to the People's Choice Don Rodriguez.
Shout out to Showtime Sarah and her favorite player, one of the Kachuk boys who just scored in the Florida game to make it 2-0 as part of our live update segment here. So it's Florida.
You jumped the gun. You know you can't do that. You know you can't do that right like that. You know what you got to do first.
Go ahead.
Because you know. You got to, when you light the lamp, you got to sound the horn. And Florida done lit the lamp twice. So should we sound the horn twice?
Might as well. Keep the party going.
Let's sound the horn again since they did it twice. And
so the funny thing is, this one will be for any goals because we don't have a dog in the fight. Because I think your pick was
Edmonton.
And my pick is Florida because I had Florida in our tournament, and if I win, that makes me the NFL picks champion, and then the NHL picks champion.
How'd you do in that college basketball though?
I mean, Matty Ice won that, so I mean, I'm so good. So you can't be great at everything.
Let's get to a couple of comments real quick.
No, Sam R, we're not done.
Not at all. Sam put out, he said, when we talking about golf, he said golf segment called The Grass is Greener. But he said, low key, it sounds like a cheating wife topic.
and personally, Sam, I make the show topic titles, baby. All right, show topic titles come through here.
Anthony said, KG, I've been watching a ton of videos of Charlie Woods. It's crazy how much of a carbon copy of his father, Tiger. Sometimes I can't tell if his swing is his own or his father's. You know, his dad's all the way.
But I mean, you gotta think about it. This kid has been playing golf with him the whole time. So, and since Charlie's been around, probably Tiger's swing hasn't really changed too much. And I think the crazy part is going to be when Charlie starts getting older and starts to fill out more, and starts like actually playing, you're going to figure out what he's about because he's going to have a lot of pressure because he's Tiger's son. Some unrealistic expectations on his shoulders. So you have to figure out his mental game is going to have to be the strongest point for him because there will be some unrealistic expectations on him. And everything he does will be put through a Tiger microscope.
You would think so because anytime you're the son of a legend, the unrealness is always put on you. I.e., look at Michael Jordan's two sons. Look at Scottie Pippen Jr., Ron Harper Jr., and I can't think of the other son. But they had a lot of unrealistic expectations, but they all have their own game. And 2 out of the 3 are in the NBA. Another one's getting ready to go to the NBA as one of the top picks. So, but I have a theory of sons of legends. If you're a legend and you have a son, the son never lives up to the billing that the father once had. Have we had that where the son?
That's the signal. That's the signal.
What that was? I couldn't see you breaking up because you're moving around, you're jumping and stuff.
Hit the horn. It's 3-0 Florida. On a nice steal, nice turnover, center it. I think it looked like that was stick side high. 3-0. I wonder if Edmonton is wilting after that, after going out of character and getting all those penalties the other night. They may not be able to fix this. They might be can't get right. But let's finish the comments real quick and then get back to your point.
Okay.
Other way around. Finish your point and then hit the comment.
No, I was saying, have we had a point where the son of a legend has either lived up to the hype or actually, got to the level of the father or the mother? Because I really believe like JaVale McGee's mom, Pamela McGee. I don't think he's lived up to the hype that she had. World champion, great career, in my opinion, for how it started to becoming a 3-time world champion. But I think he's still in his mom's shadow. For those that don't know, Ron Harper was an absolute dog before the knee injury. He reinvented his game to stay in the league longer, and it worked. And most people remember those years, in Chicago and stuff like that, how he reinvented his game. But I think his sons are going to surpass him because they got the work ethic. Huh?
I think you got to make that singular. I think one of his sons will. I don't think both.
You don't think both? Okay.
No.
I respect that. So just my thoughts. Maddie said the Monday doubleheader is going to be awesome. The boss BJ, I'm sure this was in his Bart Scott voice. Can't wait. And he said, love the show name is what Maddie said. We're going to go back to talking about NBA. And Maddie said that game 3 was maybe the best overall game of the entire playoffs. Both teams played well until the end for OKC. And moving on up is what the boss BJ said. Maddie said KG got swayed by the gentleman Jack. I did because I was like, I'm gonna pick Florida, and I was like, no, this is gonna be the year for Edmonton. Sam said Gary Payton Jr. Gary Payton Jr. is another one, but his father's a Hall of Fame and probably one of the best trash talking defensive guards that we've ever seen, and his son's nowhere near him. Maddie said Midnight is right. If he goes pro, he'll be expected to win every tournament by 10 strokes.
Yep.
Ryder's rodeo lasso movement looked like Sumo's dance to BBL Drizzy. If you haven't checked that out, you got to catch that on Saturday. I try to get them with it all the time after we already got going. But Maddie said not sure if Edmonton left Canada because these 2 games are ass kickings.
Yes, sir.
So, speaking of which, and ass kickings, let's get back to it. We had a game 3 in the NBA, and what was that? Yesterday, 116-107. Pacers over the Thunder. Pacers lead 2-1. Dort had 12. Jalen Williams had 26. Double-double from Chet Holmgren, 20 and 10, which is what he should be doing on a nightly basis. SGA had 24 and 8. Casey Wallace had 7, 1 and 4. Midnight Rider, what is that?
He's not good enough to get that.
Okay, Alex Caruso, 8, 4 and 5. What is that?
That's a triple single.
Okay, all right.
It's a regular voice triple single. He's not a superstar. Yeah, it's a regular voice triple single.
I'll let you slide with that because we got to go. For the Pacers, who I picked to win this series, Pascal Siakam, 21. Nate Smith only had 7, 0 and 2. What is that?
Triple single, baby.
All right, that's it. All right, now Miles Turner, 9, 1 and 2. What's that?
Triple single.
That's what I'm looking for. Third time's a charm. Tyrese Halliburton gave you a double-double, 1 rebound short of a triple-double, 22 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. Nembhard gave you 8 points. Obi Toppin gave you 8 points with 6 rebounds. Benedict Mathurin, 27 points in 22 minutes off the bench. And then you still got 10 from TJ McConnell. This is good. That's good stuff. The Thunder shot 46% from the field, 45 from behind the arc, only 76% from the charity stripe. For the Pacers, 51% from the field, 33% from behind the arc, 86% from behind the charity stripe. I'm sorry. The rebound total 42-36 in favor of the Thunder. Turnovers 17 for the Thunder, 13 for the Pacers. Points in the paint, damn near close, 50-48 in favor of the Pacers. Midnight Rider, give me your thoughts. Game 3. What you got?
I'm going to be very succinct on this, but to the point. I think this game 3, like I said with Coach, I think the difference is Indiana's used to being in these type ball games. Oklahoma isn't, and their offense fell apart down the stretch. The other thing I loved that Indiana did is Rick Carlisle watched some coaches tape with that guy Ben Conti, the other guy that KG wants to get on the show, of him coaching back in the day, because he threw every defender he could at SGA. And if you saw SGA at the end of that game, he was very tired. And I think part of the problem, and this is where I got to give Phil Jackson the credit for this because he's the architect of this. Is unfortunately Oklahoma City's coach isn't stealing time for SGA. When you see a guy struggling like that down the stretch, that's the time when you pull him out of a ball game. Like say there's free throws and you know you're going to call a timeout. Well, you pull him off before the free throws start. Let him sit, and you get him more real-time rest. Same thing where if they're shooting free throws and then you sit them out and then you bring them back on the very next dead ball, you're stealing minutes for your guy. And I think that's one thing that the OKC coach isn't doing. And you saw a lot of OKC players laying on the ground a little bit longer after fouls, trying to catch their breath. And I think what happened was Indiana's pace has surpassed and made it harder for OKC to defend. I said I was going to be succinct, and I wasn't. I apologize. But that's the difference. OKC's pace has outworked the work that – I'm sorry, Indiana's pace has outworked what the OKC Thunder do defensively. And that's why this series is interesting. I said it before. This is either going to be Allen Iverson and company still in one game and getting ran out of town, or this is going to be the Pistons. And right now, they're looking more like the Pistons as a good team playing their style and enforcing their style on the better team. And that's the problem. OKC got to get tomorrow right.
I'm going to put it to you this way. If I was to pull for OKC, you can shut down Halliburton. And even if you shut down Halliburton, you still got to worry about everybody else. And, you know, that's always my thing. If you shut everybody else down, let Halliburton do all the scoring, he's not going to score 80 by himself. But you can't stop Siakam. They're getting points from every night. They get points from somebody else. And I'm talking double digits. Every night in this series that the Pacers have won, well, every game, all 3 games, they've gotten, it was Obi Toppin one game. I think that was game 2, was Obi Toppin. I think they got Mathurin in game 3. I forget who it was in game 1. You getting points from players that you're not expecting to get
Toppin
these
was
points.
1.
Toppin was 1.
Yeah.
Mathurin was 3. Who was 2 then? Who was last game? It wasn't McConnell. Let me go back. I'm sitting here looking at it.
They struggled too. They struggled too. That's why they kind of got blown out.
Yeah. But they got double digits. McConnell gave you 11. So that's the game that they lost.
McConnell and Toppin are giving you enough defense to where OKC just can't come out and do stuff. There was a stretch where OKC was up 89-84, and then Rick Carlisle takes the timeout, and I don't know what they say in the timeout. I think they have like a 10 or a 12-point run, and I mean it's just they're still in points and they're still in moments. It's like they're never letting OKC get into their rhythm when they want to. Like whenever they start getting that OKC feel, Carlisle's there with a timeout. There's a stop. There's something they're doing to change it. And then they change up whether it's who's defending SGA or whatever it is. I love what he's doing. This is a clinic. Like in a year or two, you're going to have to write this down, put this on 30 for 30, because if they win this series and this playoff run is a 30 for 30 in its own right. Like there are a bunch of like, what is it? There's a stat like under 7 minutes, up by 15 since 1997. Teams are like 1 and like say 685, but the 1 is the Indiana Pacers. There's a stat where like under a minute left, down by 7, the team is 4 and 1,629, but 3 of those 4 is Indiana. Like this run is that run where they're just winning and they're overcoming all the obstacles. It's almost like a team of destiny, and that's what's starting to scare me because I don't know if OKC can put Destiny to the side. I don't know if they can tell Destiny's Child, no. Because
Then you
Destiny's
gotta
Child can
say,
be like,
yeah.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna put it to you this way. I gotta tell you, I gotta use a little Lee Corso. Not so fast there, my friend. The strategy that Rick Carlisle and the Pacers are using, throwing the different defenders at SGA, it's no different than Casey Jones would have used. No different than what Phil Jackson has used. Now I'm more familiar with what Phil did because I remember Phil to neutralize John Stockton. What did he do? He put Scottie Pippen on. Scottie long arm, 6'7", take the passing lanes away. Now, did it work? No. No. But I just with SGA, you gotta when you send defenders at him, you gotta send defenders that's gonna put body on. And Sam, he said something that I really want to get to. He said Pacers were zooming up and down the court. Prediction: OKC leads first half by 26. Indy catches up by the third. OKC wins by 15. But he said slow the Pacers game down and foul them more. But when you slow the game down like that, only problem is OKC has shot pretty well from the free throw line in this series. Game 2? They shot 87%. Game 3, they shot 86. Game 1, they shot 86. You don't want to put a team on the line like that to keep shooting. And they call SGA a free throw merchant because he gets a lot of calls and he goes to the line. But for him to go to the line as much as he does, and this team's only shooting 76% from the free throw line, I think that is atrocious. And I think that's one of the reasons why OKC is down 2-1. Because if you're getting, let me see, game 1. No, this is game 3. They had 30 attempts, hit 23 out of 30. You left 7 points on the line. I'm not saying you got to hit them all.
I think OKC's problem is less about the foul line and more about their ability to execute down the stretch. If you had the last 2 minutes and saw with their points in the last 2 minutes when the score is either tied or they're down 3, I think you would get a totally different situation. They've struggled in this series, in these playoffs, especially these finals. When the game's been close, they look around like they don't know what they want to do or what they want to get to. And I think that's the problem. Is SGA's been tired, and if it's not him, there's no other answer. I mean, Lou Dort and them are nice when they up by 15, but Dort, Jalen Williams had a terrible possession with a turnover. Chet had a couple shots blocked under 2 minutes. So I mean, that's the part where they're struggling. They gotta figure something out in these last 2 minutes when the game is close. Because if Indiana is very confident, if the game's close, we're going to win when it comes down to the end. That's the scary part. They don't mind being down 5 as long as they within 10, and maybe less than that. I mean, more than that. But I think they feel like if they can keep it competitive, they got a shot.
Sam said, who got AI software? I want to see Halliburton holding the Commander Spear Destiny. Come on, man. That's hearkening to the past. Something's getting ready to come back. And he said, look, man, let's just say it all. Let's all say it. OKC finna win, and they finna win. No, they're not. And Midnight Rider, to your point, to your point, if the Pacers are within 10, ain't no lead safe.
No.
You remember those memes about Aaron Rodgers? That's a nice lead you got there. Yeah. It'd be a shame if I just took it. That's how Halliburton is. That's all it is. It's a nice lead you got there, but it'd be a shame if I took it. You can't let the Pacers. If you're gonna beat the Pacers, you got to beat the brakes off of them. You got to blow the doors off, and you got to blow them out. But if they're close and they got a chance to win down the stretch,
Hey, it's Lloyd Christmas, baby.
You saying there's a
You
chance?
saying this? There you go.
Ah, man. Before we get out of here, we got another update. Let me refresh my screen. Are we hitting the horn again? Nope, it's the end of the first.
Nah.
So we're in the
We're
first
intermission.
intermission. Midnight Rider. We had an hour 11. Let's go ahead and wrap that shit up, D. Before we do that, let me get you ready. Before we wrap that shit up, B. Hold on. Let me get you ready because it's Friday Eve. So the next show you're gonna see on this network is what I like to call the flagship. So Saturday night, you will see me, your reigning, defending, undisputed, unattested, unaccosted, everything world champion on the Saturday night WrestleManiacs. Whew. It feels so good to be back with another reign. Man. You hear that, Midnight Rider? You hear that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you hear the people chanting my name.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I knew it was something.
KG. Oh, don't love me like you do. Oh, don't grab on my silk drawers now. Go on now. But couple comments before we get out of here. Sam says something got OKC holding back. Hustle and Flow saying, what you need, man? Because I got a room full of Maddie said, KG, you asked earlier about the cap free agency. Go to the end of the last show. I hit about 5 guys that could be a good fit for your Caps. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he did. Actually, that show had a guy on there. Pretty good guy. Midnight Rider was on there with Matty Ice and Scooter. So yeah. We did a thing on Monday.
What was I doing? I think I was working Monday. That's what happened. I was at work. Yes, Sam, I'm doing my Ric Flair because I've spilled more liquor in the last 24 hours. Don't start. I've been on a Dusty Rhodes thing all day, man. I went down a wormhole, but I'll get into that later. See, Matty know. He'll play along with it. Hey, KG got fans.
Oh, what? Out of Bounds gonna comment next?
Jeez, man, you're a hater. I'm
really not a hater.
You're a hater.
I just figured your biggest fan, Out of Bounds, will make a comment now while we got this whole KG Love Fest going.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater, man. I'm a true sayer. See? On cue.
You mad because they acknowledge me?
I ain't mad about nothing. I'm a brand.
Mad because they acknowledge me.
I'm good.
We gotta get out of here, man. We had an hour
Hey,
15. We done did the damn thing.
Just remember, when midnight strikes, we turn today into yesterday, and tomorrow into the day. That's what happens when midnight strikes. So you can ride along with that all you want, baby. You looking for something?
I was looking for something, but I ain't got nothing. I wondered. You know what? I'm gonna sing you out right. Just cause it's the midnight ride, and I don't want him to feel left out. I want to amp him up before he go to bed, because I know he ain't going to bed no time soon.
Right now is all we got. You know what I'm talking about? The greatest opportunity in the world is found in today. You understand that? We don't even know what yesterday got for us. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's already gone. Tomorrow, too far away. What about right now? What about right now? Huh? Would you give it all up for me right now? I got you. Let's go then.
I'm going to put it to you this way.
His Sam Morris comment after you finish up.
Ain't nothing like waking up to that and you done had a good night's sleep and you like, all right, let's get it. You ready to run through a brick wall, but when you ain't had no sleep, I ain't trying to hear shit Ray saying at 6:30 in the morning. I'm not even gonna lie. Nah, Sam said you get 2 Xmas cards, one signed KG and one out of bounds, same handwriting. Why do y'all think that's me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Take us out of here. 117.
All right, let's go. Thank you,
ladies
everybody.
and gentlemen. Go ahead. I'm doing this all day. I'm sorry. I forgot. David Ruffin. I'm sorry, David Ruffin. My bad.
See, I had to tell these cats all day today. There's only one David Ruffin, and without him, the Sideline Junkies is just a group in search of a David Ruffin. But it's okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Thank you to the correspondent, Keith, Coach Devon. Thank you to the Midnight Rider. Thank you to everybody that commented. Matty Ice, Gentleman Jack, Sam R, Anthony. Who else am I missing? Out of Bounds. I think I got everybody. Boss BJ. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Midnight Rider, thank you. You put together a hell of a show, man. You earned your paycheck this week.
Hey, man, gotta do something, baby. Can't live life on these good looks all the time.
Well, I look, what I had planned, this wasn't what I had planned. What I had planned was to pester you about Eddie Jones, but this works.
Yeah, as long as we can stay away from that as much as possible, I'm good, dog.
Messed up my whole groove. But anyway, that's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. Don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.